All right, so I'm live with Assimilate OpenAI, and I would say there's lots of stuff we can do with OpenAI, but let's just go right to the point and get into the thing everybody's talking about, which is the Chat GPT research. I mean, I could just go over the README real quick. I've actually done almost nothing with it, but let's just document it real quick. So, Chat GPT optimizing language models for dialogue. And so it says we train a model called Chat GPT, which interacts in a conversational way. It admits mistakes, challenges incorrect assumptions, and rejects inappropriate requests. Chat GPT is a sibling model to instruct GPT, which is trained to follow an instruction and provide a response. And so this is really ready to go, actually, if you have an account for OpenAI. And so you can see some of the things you can do. For example, we can ask it to debug code and we can do stuff like that. And it says we've trained this model using reinforcement learning from human feedback, so RLHF, using the same methods as Instruct GPT. And to create a reward model for reinforcement learning, we needed to collect comparison data, which consists of two or more model responses ranked by quality. We randomly selected a model written message, sampled several alternative completions, and had AI trainers rank them. Using these, we can fine tune the model using proximal policy optimization. So, what are some of the things we can do with this thing? I guess some of the limitations would be that it can do incorrect, nonsensical answers. It's sensitive to tweaks. It can be too verbose. And so it can do things like tell me about when Christopher Columbus came to America. So let's try it. Let's try that, actually. That's a good one. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to reset this thread. I'm in Chat GPT here. Let's make it a little bit bigger here. And let's just throw that first one. Tell me about when Christopher Columbus came to the U.S. He did not come. He was an Italian explorer. So pretty good, actually. Not bad. The things that I think are kind of fun to play around with would be let's try again. Let's look at some of these examples. So how do I make an HTTP request in JavaScript? I think this is actually a nice one. Whoops. How do I make an HTTP request in JavaScript? To make an HTTP request in JavaScript, you can use XML HTTP request object or fetch. And here's a good example to send a GET request. So not bad, right? And it's cool that it actually gives you these code samples here. Here's an example of how to use fetch to send a GET request to a server. Yeah, not too bad. I guess this is reasonable. Let's see if we can change it for Python. So what if I want to change it? We say, how do we make a HTTP request in Python? Go ahead and change that. You can use request library. First, you need to import it. Not bad. And then you could do a request. And then you say, yeah. So to me, this definitely seems legit. So why don't I just riff with this thing? So I'm gonna actually kind of go back and forth. I'll use this, and then I'll put some of this into my repo. So I have an OpenAI repo here that I've been playing around with. We can use. It's Assimilate in AI. There we go. And we can just launch this. I think it's going to be this one. OpenAI. So what I can do is I can ask ChatGPT for things, and then I can paste them in and just verify that they actually work, which I think is a reasonable way to test this thing out. Why not? So let's go to terminal here, and let's see. We're going to say this is A5 testing Chat GPT. And so let's try out their example here. So they say, They actually want me to do. How do I make a request? Well, we could just even do this Python, and I could do what they say. I could say import requests. So copy this, import requests. There we go. And then we can say copy mode. Now I'll just change this instead of example. Let's change this to like, I don't know, wikipedia.com or .org. There we go, wikipedia.org. Let's try that. Let's do this. Right. And then what do they say next? They say print these out. Let's just double check. Does it work? And whoops. Does it work? Yeah. Response dot status code. Response dot status code. Yeah. Looks good. Okay, so ChatGPT did give us a good response there in order to play around. So I guess we can try to make it do something a little bit more tricky, which is give me an example Docker file that deploys a simple command line tool in Bash. Here's an example that can be deployed to create a simple command line tool in Bash. So Alpine, go Bash, add the files for our projects, chmod it, Docker build. Yeah, pretty cool. I like it. it's so I'm gonna just copy its. I'm gonna just literally create a project that uses its style. So I'm gonna create a directory called OpenAI examples, maybe Chat GPT. There you go. And then I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna say bash Docker file. So let's go in here. So let's just do what it says. Let's go ahead and say Docker file. So let's go into here. We got this thing, bash Docker file. And so it told me to just do this. So I'm going to copy it. Now, the only thing we're missing, add the files for our tool. I mean, why don't I just tweak this and we'll just call this like fun one to do, which would be like hello.sh. And then add the files here, hello.sh. And then we would chmod it, hello.sh. And then we would say hello.sh. There you go. So I'm going to make a file called hello.sh. And inside of hello.sh, we'll just echo. Let me just double check that Copilot is enabled. I think it is, but I'm wondering why it's, oh no, reload required. So let's reload it real quick. I'm just lazy. I want it to do all the work for me. So we can say echo. I wonder why it's not working, but hello world. But good, it's good enough. We have hello world, and if I run it, bash hello world. There we go. It runs it. So then inside of here, this directory, I'm going to create a README. It just uses ChatGPT here. And what we can do is basically run these commands. So we can copy, build my tool. Yeah, I mean, we can call it anything we want, right? So but sure. we can do that, and then we can say we can run it. So, and we can just say this to, and we can say to build and run the following. All right, let's go ahead and do this. So it's going to build a really small, Docker not found, which sucks. Now I have to install Docker, but it's not too bad to install Docker. Docker install Docker. There we go. Cannot be used. Well, we can do this though. We can say dev, add dev container, configure features, Docker. There you go. Docker and create child containers inside container. I think we just want that one right there. We've noticed it changed to dev containers, manage extension. And so if we go to extensions, Docker, Docker file here, we go to dev container, does Docker file. If we just rebuild real quick, Docker come instead, rebuild container. See if this can rebuild real quick and we can test out our Docker file. I mean, regardless, while this thing's building and gets Docker installed, hopefully it's quick. I can just keep cranking. So we already have everything we need to do. So I can try another one. How about build a command line tool in Python using Python Fire. How about that? Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's not a bad example. So in terms of code completion here, this is definitely pretty awesome. I mean, I could definitely see wanting to use this to try stuff out. I mean, this is amazing. Like that's a great documentation there. So let's see, Docker and Docker has completed. Let's test that one out. We'll test out both. And okay, we'll go back to this. So let's see, does Docker, did I really install Docker? Okay, I did. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and test out Docker here. Close these. Docker build. Wait, oh, no Docker file because I need to change into OpenAI examples and change into this directory. There we go. Now I can do this command, Docker build. This should build a very, very tiny Docker file. And we can run it now. Docker run my tool. Docker run rm. Oh. Docker run. We'll do this. Docker run. Say Docker image ls. Let's try that. Now, maybe this Docker file was, I wonder why that didn't work. It looks correct, but if I say Docker run -it a tool, exec format error. So something, exec format error, chmod plus x. Make the tool executable. Well, who cares? It's close enough. We'll keep moving. So let's try the next one. So we'll go into um, is fire installed? So we can probably add it to requirements. We can just do that, and we can have another terminal, and we can just say make install fire. Make install. I'll just install fire. And then we can take this fire example, which is really a neat little simple example, and we can go into this other repo, say touch fire CLI.py, and do this, import fire. And then if we want to run it, we just even put this at the top of our code. Be lazy, do that. And we can just say Python fire CLI. Let's run this. So yeah, not perfect. There's some bugs here using the fire command decorator. I don't think you need that. I think you just say fire dot fire. We should just read the Python fire documentation. So let's say, so it's got some bugs. Let's see here. Import fire. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you don't need a decorator. So that's weird. So it gave us actually a bogus example. If we go back here, we don't need a decorator. It told us to do bad code. There we go. Yeah, that's interesting. Interesting. That would tell us. Can we tell it? Can you flag this? Can you say? Can you tell it like all system? Your feedback will help us improve it. Oh, here we go. Down. This isn't true, and we can just put a note. Say like, basically, Python Fire doesn't use decorators. There we go. This isn't true. So that's kind of useful. And I guess we could reset here. We could keep doing things inside of here. We could go. What else could we do? We could ask, what is a list of the top 10 countries to live in for quality of life? Let's ask this thing if what it thinks. It's difficult to say. However, some factors are used include education, healthcare, and social services, economic stability, political stability, crimes, and natural environment. Some countries that are often considered to have the high quality standards include Switzerland, Australia, Canada, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Japan, and Netherlands. These countries have strong economies, excellent healthcare, and high levels of social welfare. So that's interesting. So these would be its ranking from, which I think are based on the data. It does appear to be true. We could riff on this actually. So we could do. Let's see if it can use some Python now. We could say like, show me an example of using of how to import the life expectancy of the following countries in Python pandas. Whoa. Pandas, countries. Create a list of countries you want to include in the data frame. It's not bad. Not bad. Countries. I don't know where it got the life expectancies. That seems low. We could print this out though. We could say, what are the life expectancies of the following countries? They are. These numbers represent the average. What is calculated by taking into the account the various factors such as access to healthcare, lifestyle choices, and genetic. What is the 75th percentile of life expectancy in the following countries? Do you need first know the gout for each country? Oh, it doesn't really give us the correct answer here. What would you tell someone who currently lives in the United States and doesn't want to move, why they should move to a country to one of the following countries? The following countries. There are many reasons why someone in the United States might want to consider moving. Some of the reasons, because they have strong economies and low unemployment, they have excellent health care with access to high quality medical care, they have high levels of social welfare, they have low crime rates and safe and peaceful environments, they have beautiful natural environments. Of course, is a personal one, but someone is looking to improve their quality of life and pursue new opportunities. These countries can provide a great place to live and work. Yeah, pretty cool stuff here, actually, to just keep riffing on something. We could also say, for example, why does the USA have a low life expectancy compared to similar nations? And let's just reverse this. There are many factors of the United States here. We can see some reasons for the U.S. includes there's a lot of obesity, there's low access to health care, there's high rates of drug overdose and preventable causes of death, such as gun violence and traffic accidents. There's higher levels of income inequality, which can affect the overall wealth, and there's differences in lifestyle choices. It's important that only some of these further research is needed. Interesting. Why does the United States have an epidemic of gun violence, and what could they do to solve it? Okay, let's do this. It's a higher rate of gun violence than many other developed countries, and it's a major public health issue. Easy access to firearms, weak gun control laws, and culture of violence. There's several solutions: strengthening gun control laws, investing in programs that support high-risk individuals like mental health, reducing the availability of firearms like buybacks, and increased funding for research on gun violence. Interesting. Yeah, not a bad research tool here to just really start to dig into, like, maybe even to do research on data science, for example. Um, and we could even dig into this even more. We could say, which countries uh, have the highest percentage of Americans that have moved to them. Oh, I'm not able to browse the internet to answer. A large language model trained my which country is the top destination for Americans moving abroad? Let's do that. Doesn't have an answer for that as well. Which country has the largest percentage, the largest, highest maximum life expectancy for females? Because we know that typically female life expectancy can be much higher. Well, that broke it. Which country has the highest? Which country has the highest median life expectancy for females? How about that? Females. We can maybe reset. Go back. Japan has the highest median life expectancy for females. This is followed by Spain, Switzerland, and Singapore, which all have a median for females around 85. Interesting. So we can also do, now for males, we can say, which country has the median for males? The World Health, Switzerland, followed by Japan, Singapore, and Australia. Interesting. So we can even dive in to this a little bit more. So we could say, what are the top 10 countries for life expectancy? Yes. All right, so we could even dig into this. Sorry. What about if we go here and we change it for females? Females. There we go. Not so it was able to, it's able to get the highest, but it's not able to get all of the all of the other all of the other data. But it definitely is very interesting to look at these. So if we just said Japan, so let's maybe dig into this. We can say Spain, Switzerland, and Singapore. So let's say Spain, Switzerland, and say, what do the following countries have in common? Oops, that's misspelled, so that could be an issue. What Live. There we go. That broke its answer. So we can go back to reset again, and we can say what is the average grade level of the following countries. We can kind of dig into like, is there an education issue here? Is this really why people live longer? Nope, just still hanging. There may be like an overloaded system. An error occurred. Let's try again. That didn't work. So if we say what is the average education level of these countries? Nope. Let's reset. What is the average home ownership level in the following countries? Yeah, maybe it's misbehaving a little bit, but that was fun. It was good to play around with Chat GPT. I definitely learned some stuff, and I will definitely continue to watch this space with OpenAI. So see you in a little bit, in a couple weeks.